Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I will tell you and teach you how to build your own battleships in 1/700 scale with a laser cutter, Onshape, and some CAD design.
Find what you want to build. In this case, I want to build this Soviet battleship. You can find these designs just online. Most of them are on DeviantArt, and it's just one guy called Solly who does them. But anyways, when you want to build it, you'll first take a screenshot, Windows Shift S. You don't really need that high resolution for this. You just take a screenshot, capture, and then you can put it in Onshape. So, once you've got your sketch, you'll go to Onshape, and you'll create a sketch just like that, any of the plane. You'll import an image. In this case, we'll use our battleship, and then we'll put it on here, and then we can start building.
So, once you have your sketch in Onshape, you'll draw a long line across the entire length of the ship. This is where you're going to use the length value that you had earlier. You're going to dimension it and set it as the meter length divided by 700. In this case 700 because it is my scale. Then you'll draw lines on the edge in order to denote the hull shape. This can be a little time consuming because you'll have to draw every individual line, but I recommend drawing more lines because this makes a more realistic hull. This is so the hull looks like it's an actual real ship and not something that was built in Roblox. You only have to do one side though. Click the center line and then do mirror. Mirror allows you to symmetrically build the other side. You copy and paste as you do every floor. You can then make every individual floor as you move up the ship. I'd recommend designing from bottom up. The upper decks just follow the hull as it goes, and then you'll use mirror again for every individual deck above. Then you can use the trim tool in order to cut the edges. You can copy and paste that and put it there. It is optional to do the deck detail. You can do the hatches, the individual anchor chains, you can do all that stuff. It's good if you want to paint the model, but if you just want it to be built as a prototype model, it's completely optional. Again, you'll use the mirror tool to save you time. You only have to do one side. Mirror tool will use the kingpin line that you drew earlier to very easily symmetrically put the stuff across. You can also do the superstructure with the same principle, mirror line, and just trace the lines. In this case, I'm working with 1/8 inch plywood, so it's best to know the thickness of the decks. In general, when you're building in 700 scale, a single layer of 1/8 inch wood is appropriate enough for one floor or one deck. And again, you'll copy and paste the thing from the sketch down so you can continue working with the existing sketch. You see right here, I switch from vertical design to horizontal design where I do the funnels now. Because if I vertically stack the funnels, they wouldn't look as good as if I had done them horizontally or vertically in this case. So I can have the scored details on them, which makes them look far more realistic. It's easier to mirror it, as you see with this asymmetrical shape. I do have to draw the entire thing myself, but the benefit is that on Onshape, the lines do have the helpers on there. The yellow lines will help you draw the lines symmetrically or even with the other one over. So you'll then mirror the details. Once you copy all of those, you can put them in a sketch with all the parts that are ready. Now you won't exactly be finished at this point because there's still one more step that we have to do in order for our build to be completely finished. So you see right here, I'm doing a little bit more copy and pasting down with the final rear superstructure. Okay, here we're in Inkscape. Inkscape's free. So what I'm doing here is I am denoting the parts for my Glowforge where the parts should be scored and where the parts should be cut. Notice how I'm using two very distinct colors. I'm using pink for all the parts that I don't want them to be cut, so I'm using them to be scored. All the black lines are the parts that I want to cut on the machine. And in Inkscape, you can also slightly adjust the parts in case you need to move them around. Here, one of the things I'm doing is I'm moving some of the parts to one of the inside hulls because that hull is going to be sandwiched between two other parts, and thus it won't be necessary for the parts to be used on extra wood. This way, when you do it like this, it saves you material, and that's a good thing. And because I know the edges also won't be used, I can put additional stuff in the edges so I maximize the material that I'm using. This is the benefit of that. And then I'd make some additional just little rings just for the rangefinders and move everything together, and then we're good to cut. This is the result from the laser cutter. Notice how the parts have cut exactly like how I designed it in the sketches. So this is the completed model of the KB-4 Soviet design battleship. I used 1/8 inch wood on my Glowforge to cut this, and then I used evergreen polystyrene rods of various thicknesses in order to achieve the barrels. I used Tamiya heavy vessel ordnance set for the little planes, the boats, the boats as well. And then I just use various styrene parts to complete the model. Painting it is optional. A painted model will look very nice though. It's up to you exactly how you want to build it though. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.